Hello everybody, The Destroyer here, and welcome back to another cast of the Rise of the Witch King patch 2.02, version 5.0.1. Today we have a clan war match between MauHuR and J.J.RaMBo. So let's get into it. Of course we have J.J.RaMBo as Elves in the top left, and of course his opponent is MauHuR, who is the Dwarves today. And of course this is for Isen II, the 1v1 map of choice for pretty much any clan war game ever. I think. I don't think anyone's other maps have been played other than that. In Clan War, at least. MauHuR going for a mine very quickly. Immediately getting his Hall Warriors down. He's very quick to do his things, of course. He's definitely a pro for a reason. He'll be moving his builder across the field over this way towards the center there. RaMBo getting an Elven Barracks. He does have two trees. He's getting the third tree there. Let's see where MauHuR's builder's going. Undoubtedly going for some form of a forward mine, of course, with the dwarf attack that he'll probably send through afterwards. He's going to get some guardians, of course, as you might expect. His builder is here, but he hasn't built anything yet. There he goes. So he's opted to put his mine shaft there, kind of near the war glare. Not too close to it. RaMBo might see it. If he does go this way, towards that, I mean he would, but he's building swordsmen. No one goes to creep with swordsmen, they usually go with pikes, generally speaking. First battalion of guardians out on the field now. And of course, he'll be moving them into his mineshaft post-haste, pumping them out over here. And there they are. And that, of course, is the best way to play Dwarves early game. Try and go for aggressive push early game. Of course, he'll have Rally Call. Both teams will have Rally Call. Yeah, definitely. And RaMBo's troops, of course, won't be able to beat the Guardians. But he does actually find the forward mine they came from and does knock that out, so that is good. Although MauHuR, on top of things, making another one right away. Of course, he does have more Guardians out in the field. And they will be loading up. He's getting some phalanxes. Possibly to go start doing some creeping of some kind. You could either go kill the cave troll, or you could also kill the wargs. There are plenty of those. These guardians will be picked off. We do have a battalion of Lordian archers, of course, which could be extremely useful against guardians. And of course he does have these elven warriors as well, which will help. Looks like he actually did knock down one of his MauHuR trees though. So J.J.RaMBo will be forced to rebuild that one. Meanwhile, a rally called Dwarven battalion coming out from MauHuR this time. And yeah, as you see, he did actually build the phalanxes to kill the troll. He does want to claim a an inn. As dwarves, you get the hobbits, of course, which are very strong with their throw rock ability. It's always good to have a line of dwarven rock throwers, or hobbit rock throwers rather, behind an army of tanky dwarves. They do a lot of damage. So that's his strategy, undoubtedly. Of course, he'll get the money and power points and such from the cave troll as well, which is always an added bonus. So RaMBo looking to take this warglair out, and he'll be moving across the fort with some Lordian warriors to do some harassment. Did he actually find this mine? He did actually find this mine, so doesn't look like MauHuR has any forward mines over here or down here. So yeah, RaMBo's base is fairly safe for now, at least from forward mine invasions. MauHuR capturing the inn there, and there you go. He's getting some hobbits. He'll knock this down, of course, get the money and such. Because who doesn't like free money? Meanwhile, RaMBo is trying to knock down the mineshaft of MauHuR right here. Oops. Doesn't look like he will succeed, as they do get picked off. He pumped some guardians out there, killed them off pretty easily. Of course, the fortress axe tower helping out. These phalanxes will be forced to retreat. There is a overwhelming force there. Some Mithlond sentries in the fray, as well as some archers and swordsmen. Does actually knock this mineshaft down with his swordsman. It's a nice clump there with the swordsman. That does allow them all to start swinging at once, which actually speeds up the destruction of the building, of course. First battalion of hobbits is on the field. The more of those he can get, the better, undoubtedly. Let's take a look at powers and command point limits and such. Of course, we are at rally call with 3 power points for RaMBo. He has 600 command point limit. MauHuR's sitting at a 450 command point limit, so RaMBo definitely doing better in the economy phase. He has 3 power points as well. So they're about even power point wise. But I'd say the Elves have a better economy. Dwarves starting to get a strong army together though. Of course the Hobbits. Always a strong army indeed. So he's pushing out in the top. It's kind of semi-forward mineshaft here. The Elves pushing through the northern lands, trying to possibly take out his inn. I'm sure he did see that the Dwarves were using Hobbits. Of course he wants to put a stop to that as soon as possible. He doesn't be careful though. Those Silverthorn rocks really do a number on your troops. RaMBo taking out a mineshaft there. Going to claim the inn with his elves, elven archers, and continuing on to destroy these forward mineshafts. Good play there. MauHuR going for the base, just straight up the base, possibly looking to take out his barracks. That would be a bit of a setback for J.J.RaMBo. It is level 2. Rally call did go down on the troops, and it looks like he will take this barracks. It will be very difficult to stop the Dwarves, who have been rally called here, from stopping or from destroying this. Of course, this probably will level up the Dwarves once it destroys, and they will get the charge ability. RaMBo will probably make use of that. Oh, he does a battle wagon. Actually, took out those Lorien archers as well. Will he use the charge attack? If anyone is going to use it, I'd expect MauHuR to do so. Of course, he's probably microing a lot of things. So who knows? He's opting not to use it. Maybe you can't actually use that when you have a rally call on. Maybe you don't get a benefit from it. That is a high possibility. But nonetheless, he does have rally call Dwarves attacking the base here. And RaMBo is in a bit of trouble. Watchtower expansion is falling pretty quickly. RaMBo really needs to get all his men to his base immediately to deal with the Dwarven threat before he loses too much. But MauHuR being very aggressive, doing the damage, and he does have Prince Brand out, which is the bane of archers. So that's not going to be pretty for the Elves once they do encounter him. Once he gets the slam shot, of course. Slam shot is absolutely devastating against the archer line, as it pretty much kills an entire battalion. Always nasty. J.J.RaMBo has gotten some hobbits as well. Of course, Dwarves and Elves share the same unit, the Hobbit. Unfortunately, though, his hobbits are out here by themselves, and Prince Brand should be able to pick them off pretty easily. And then, of course, MauHuR can take back the inn here. Start getting hobbits again of his own. And you see there, Prince Brand slaughtering a hobbit, putting him down. Some phalanxes being brought out from this northern mineshaft. Undoubtedly going to take this MauHuR tree down. Meanwhile, J.J.RaMBo has a tree in the middle, also pushing forward with some elves, some swordsmen, and a battalion of Mythlon sentries. MauHuR does have a battle wagon with the banner upgrade on it. So it does have a couple little pikes on it. As you see, they just constantly swing their little pikes. It looks like they actually do catch the elven warriors out of the pike line. So they does run them over quite nicely. And J.J.RaMBo, of course, will not be engaging Guardians with Mythlon sentries. That would be a terrible idea, as Mythlon sentries would be falling like wheat. And that would be unfortunate for him. The hobbits are picked off there. He does have the inn himself now, MauHuR does, and he'll be begin producing hobbits once again. There's Golem. He may be brought to use at some point, maybe not. We have Glorfindel out for J.J.RaMBo. Glorfindel is, of course, a great hero to have. Just take up that mine shaft that was building. And there's that slam shot, like I said, very devastating against the archer line. Of course, he's one-shotting the archers as well. Actually, he's targeting down Glorfindel, looking to put him to death. He might get him. Nope. Glorfindel quick enough to get out of there. Take a look at powers real quick. RaMBo is going for a 10 power point. He's at 9 right now. MauHuR is got 2. He's opted to get heal, so he can actually heal his hero, of course, or his troops, whatever he wanted to use it on. I'd assume he used it on troops because his hero hasn't taken any damage, of course. He's up to 7 power points. He's at 675 command point limit, as we're the Elves are at 725 now, which will be dropping very shortly, since he's about to lose a few MauHuR trees here and there. MauHuR doing a great job of keeping the pressure up on RaMBo. RaMBo hasn't really got to go on the offensive too much. He has a little bit. Ooh, we got an axe thrower battalion on the back of this battle wagon. This battle wagon's doing good damage to the MauHuR tree. Of course, they'll need to get out of there for the Mithril sentries, and Glorfin will tear them to pieces. Looks like some Mithril sentries killed the cave troll here. He hasn't grabbed the gold yet. MauHuR could snag that gold if he's quick. Although, is it worth the risk? Probably not, of going near some Mithril sentries. I'd say probably not. You'd have to have some really quick micro and hope that RaMBo wasn't paying attention. RaMBo opting to go for Legolas. Nice. Legolas should be quite useful here. Of course, he does not want to get too damaged here. He does have his Hawk Strike he could use on the hobbits or whatever, but the hobbits do a ton of damage to Legolas, as you see there. Between Prince Bran and Legolas, or Prince Bran and the hobbits, I mean, Legolas can't withstand the damage. Looks like RaMBo's actually gone for the Elven Vines upgrade, or whatever it's called. The armor upgrade on the fort. As he is worried about the dwarves taking him down, of course. So he's gone for Elven Wood. So he was saving for a 10, I guess, but he opted to go for a 5. Unless that is a 10. I'm pretty sure it's not. I think that's a 5. And MauHuR has gotten a Lone Tower, which summons a defensible, garrisonable tower in patch 2.02 version 5, of course. So you could throw that down and put Prince Bran in it, or you could put some Men of Dale or Axe Throwers in it or something like that. Or just in general, put whatever. Just have it be a tower. Continuing to get battle wagons. The production is on queue there. And of course he is throwing down an archery range, as I saw over there. So he upgraded his barracks to hull, or his Hall Warriors to level 2. So he could potentially get the banner carriers if he wanted to. I like getting the banner carriers personally for the Guardians upgrade, so they can do their charge thing immediately. But of course, whether he needs to or not is another question. Glorfindel and the army of the Elves chasing off Prince Brand into his mine. We do have some phalanxes and some guardians in there as well. Of course, it's not going to be enough to deal with this elven army here. And Legolas leading a little party to the south. Legolas is pretty good at dealing with these battle wagons. His Hawk Strike does a lot of damage, and he can pick them off from range, of course. And he does alright damage with just single shots. So we've got a big battle here. Gloin has been brought out to the field as well. Big slam there. A lot of damage. Glorfindel using his Blade of Purity. Gets 100% damage and 100% armor. It's a very, very nice buff indeed, of course. Actually catching Gloin before he gets into the mine. That's an unfortunate loss for MauHuR, as he is not cheap, of course, and heroes take a long time to come back in patch 2.02. So that's something to keep in mind. Nice slam shot from Prince Bran, though. He's doing great damage to the archer line, and in come the battle wagon battalions. Looking to completely wreck the elves here. Oh, that's brutal. There's not even enough pikes to stop them if they wanted to. And every single Lorien archer has been crushed. The only thing that remains is Glorfindel and a couple of them. There's Mithril sentries there. Looks like RaMBo has taken the outpost in the bottom left, or the inn rather. And looking to get this creep here without chasing off the builder. Nope. Won't catch him with the Mithril sentries, so no point in chasing, of course. Looks like we have the battle wagons in the back of the elven base here. J.J.RaMBo throwing up a green pasture. Looking to get some cavalry. Undoubtedly probably to counter these battle wagons. And of course to do some harassment. The elves getting another hero. Haldir this time. That makes 3 elves for the, or 3 heroes for the elves. That will be a bit difficult for the dwarves to deal with, I think. Especially since he's sitting on 1. He does have Men of Dale now, though. So MauHuR going for some nice archers. Prince Bran being popped out here to pick off some hobbits. And he does just that. MauHuR throwing up the tower here. It's actually a good spot for a tower. Not only can it like spot here, but it also guards this outpost, or this inn. I keep calling it an outpost. This inn from being captured. And he'll be putting a mine shaft right here as well. In come a couple of Elven heroes. Probably don't want to engage this though, maybe. Well, it's hard to say, there's nothing really here, honestly. Nothing really threatening, that is. Mythlon sentries taking out this forward mine in the middle of the fords here. MauHuR's actually gone for the Dwarven Zealots. Although Glorfindel will cut through them with his Blade of Purity pretty easily. So of course he'll have to run them away. They do literally look like mini Gimlis, don't they? They even run the same, with their axe above their head. It's Brand popping out here, popping some guys. He does, of course, want to keep outrunning Glorfindel until his Blade of Purity wears off, at least. But there it is, wore off. Now he's using them to actually take out units. Possibly throw them in the mine, yep. He can, of course, heal those up, which would be useful. J.J.RaMBo putting on the pressure, though. He's kind of sandwiching MauHuR in a bit. Looking for a comeback. Some Lancers being thrown out against the Dwarves, but they'd be cut down by the Zealots pretty easily. Prince Brand, of course. He's not building any troops at the moment. He's going for more Zealots. Of course, he can have 3 units of Zealots at one time. Zealots aren't cheap either. They are 1,200. But he will have 3 battalions of them, I believe. 3 battalions of Zealots is nothing to scoff at, of course. Quite scary indeed. Some hobbits being brought in from the north, from this northern inn there. The Zealot army being popped out over here. There is 3 battalions, one of them being very low indeed. Only having 2 left. But that is something to fear. They will take down structures very quickly. So he does need to be careful of that. As you see, that MauHuR tree goes down very, very fast. So he is looking to destroy the economy of the Elves. RaMBo might be in a bit of trouble. RaMBo going in for an attack, though, instead of opting to go for defense. MauHuR still has defense of his own, though. He does have Gloin and Archer Gloin, Prince Brand. I call him that because he has Slam Shot, which is essentially the same thing as Slam. More or less, just in arrow form. Looks like he will retreat, though. He doesn't feel he has enough men. He is building an army back here, though. While the Zealots continuing to actually take out trees here. Hobbit summon going down from MauHuR. Excuse me. Looks like the Elves will be losing the cavalry there. They all died. MauHuR hasn't used the Vial Galadriel yet, so he could potentially utilize that to cause fear in his enemies, of course. Being the guy who wrote the fear guide, assuming he will use it at some point. MauHuR, of course. He wrote a guide on using fear, or whatever, on GameReplays.org. Doesn't look like he's actually going to use it, though. Just a bit curious. I guess he's otherwise occupied, which is understandable. He does have an attack from the south to deal with here. He's continuing to build hobbits. Looks like Frodo and them will die there. He's been microing his zealots, of course. And he has managed to get almost all the trees from J.J.RaMBo's lands, aside from this one. Excuse me. My voice starts to go all bleh. Anyway. Zealots cutting their way through these Mythlon sentries pretty easily. Those hobbits fall very quickly as well. The Zealots, of course, are very strong. These Lancers even won't have much chance against these Zealots, I would imagine. Although if they just keep running and don't attack, they will actually be cut down. Yeah, you see that as soon as they turn around, Lancers are like, no, we're good. J.J.RaMBo bringing an army there. Looks like MauHuR's got a little fortress, not fortress, but like a little safe haven building over here. What is this? Another mine shaft. So he has a lot of mines. Even has a statue here, which is nice. So he's fortifying his position in the southwest there. Meanwhile, RaMBo pushing into his base with some hobbits and some... I almost called them Easterlings, but they are not Easterlings. They are Mythlon sentries, of course. And, of course, Legolas and Haldir are there as well. Prince Brand and Gloin just popping out to do their abilities, popping right back in. Men of Dale being put into the mines. Some Men of Dale and some phalanxes being sent north to possibly take out some trees and capture that inn, stop the flow of hobbits, of course. Let's take a look at PowerPoints and everything else in that nature. Oh, wow. J.J.RaMBo's opted to get an eagle. Which I'd say would be a great idea if he didn't have a Prince Brand. Excuse me. God, I'm very congested. I'm very due for a very hard cough, but I'm not going to do it on camera. It's very loud, of course.
Team up, sheriffs.
But of course, the eagle will be super useful for taking out guys who are harassing. And he does get a nice run through on the Men of Dale with his lancers. That will leave the eagle unopposed to deal lots of damage there, of course.
We come from Mirkwood.
MauHuR going out this way. Okay, let's take a look at the powers and such. I was going to do that before I get all sidetracked. I can just in this. J.J.RaMBo has 14 power points and 585 command point limits. That's all the new things he's had. MauHuR, of course, we saw the summon hobbits. He has rebuild now. And the Lone Tower we saw use. He has 7 power points and 585, so they're both they're both now even. 635 pop, so they're both even on economy. Mirkwood's getting absolutely wrecked by Prince Brand. He's so good against archers, like I said. And these Men of Dale should finish him off. Although the Men of Dale getting trampled there by the Lancers. You still have the Zealots in the field. This is where he's building his Mirkwoods from. So he does want to keep that barracks safe, of course. He doesn't want to upgrade another barracks. It would just be a pain. But yeah, it's a good game so far. Both teams are very back and forth. Both teams doing very well. And I'd say no team has a clear advantage over the other person as of yet. Although, Gloin getting out of there just in time. The eagle will be a bit hard to deal with until Brand gets, what's it called? Beast Slayer. I think Brand actually died. I don't see him on the field. And he is not in the mineshaft, so it is possible Prince Brand is dead. Some hobbits just sitting here. RaMBo still has control of the inn up here, so he'll keep doing producing those. Gloin is level 4, so he does have Shake Foundation. Looks like RaMBo's going for an attack. He does purchase Summon Ents there. Throwing that down there, and he'll begin ambushing this tower. Yeah, it does have Men of Dale in it. MauHuR using Rebuild. That might actually get the eagle killed. It does. Nice. Good use of Rebuild, keeping that tower alive so it can actually finish off the eagle. Of course, the tower will fall to the Ents. He doesn't have anything to actually counter that. He does have some Men of Dale, though. MauHuR up and go for that, and he'll ward. He does rally call all his guys there, and sends the army against J.J.RaMBo. Caligula's getting off a nice hawk strike, though, killing a lot of them. The Ents targeting down the mine shafts. Of course, they're best used against structures. They are siege weapons. They're not bad against archers, of course, but if you can cut off all the reinforcement points for the Dwarves, of course, he won't have too much to contend with. MauHuR pushing north with some Zealots and Men of Dale to capture the inn, maybe? Probably capture the inn with these Men of Dale. Continue destroying trees with these Zealots. This is a nice little setup that MauHuR has. He has all his buildings queued to rally right in front here. Of course, this one doesn't need to have a waypoint. It does actually just pop out right here, right in front of it. Battle wagons, of course, can't go into mine shafts, I don't think. In patch 2.02 version 5.0.1, so that's not a thing anymore. So if he was going for battle wagons, he would have to manually ride them over to where they need to go. That is mainly a change, of course, to fix the bug where the battle wagons fire from the mine shaft when they have Men of Dale on the back. As if you've ever played 1.06 of Battle for Middle-earth, you know how annoying that bug is. There you go. He is the Vile Galadriel, causing the troops to flee. And he will be picked off there, of course, and he'll be pushing forward. Sam doing a good job picking up some guys. Oh, he does get killed there. Such a fate to befall Samwise. It happens every game. He keeps coming back for more. And now MauHuR poised to do a bit of damage. He's actually manually walking some guys over here. Possibly take some trees out on the way there. I would say RaMBo is losing a bit of ground here, though. He is kind of down to just a few Mirkwood stragglers and a couple heroes. He does have his eagle, though. And he's got one Mirkwoods out now, so he should be able to counter or fend off this attack. Bran does have the Beast Slayer arrow. Causes extra damage to flying enemies and severe damage to monsters. Of course, Eagle being a flying unit does a ton of damage. It's not a monster, but he is a flying unit, so. And of course, he's just weak to archer fire in general. MauHuR does have control of this inn up here. He'll be producing hobbits out of it. The Eagle might just smash them as they come out. Some men of Dale being sent to possibly deal with the Eagle. Look at this game even has reflections. So futuristic. Sad, some games nowadays can't even have reflections in water. Kind of funny in a way. This water always reminds me of sky. It just looks like the sky. Of course, it is reflecting the sky, so it makes sense, but it's just very blue. This game looks very nice.
It wasn't us.
Of course.
It wasn't us.
The ring has been dropped. Looks like J.J.RaMBo opting to get Golem and get the ring of power. Of course, they want to secure that so MauHuR can't use it. Even if he doesn't use it, he does not want MauHuR to use it, of course. Last thing he needs is a Galadriel out in the field. It would take a long time for MauHuR to actually save up 10 grand, though. He is at 1,000. He doesn't have Dwarven Riches.
The phalanx will bring some order.
He is at 685. Of course, he did get Men of Dale, and he's at 13 command points. Power points, rather. RaMBo is at 12 power points and 860. So actually the Elves doing much better in the economy sector. So he has a lot more trees. Of course, the more trees and farms and mine shafts, etc. you have, the more money you get. It's just the more command points you can have, of course. Lone Tower with some Men of Dale being summoned there. So he will have this outpost, or this. How many times do we call that an outpost? The inn defended quite well. He's also got this inn defended quite well as well. He actually built the tower this time, because it can be upgraded with forged blades. That means it's built. These summoned ones, of course, cannot benefit from such upgrades. Nice job, MauHuR, kiting those Lancers into the tower. And of course, these guys are able to take out Lancers easily enough. They actually don't take a ton of damage from Mirkwoods, which is surprising. Mirkwoods probably shouldn't push in here, though. They're not the tankiest of units. They will begin taking a lot of archer fire. And they will get killed off. They might all die before getting away. Nope, he does get away, and he could go heal up if he wanted to. Get his battalions back just by standing next to a Mirror Galadriel, which is always nice. We have King Dane out in the field for MauHuR now. So, Dwarves having 3 of their 4 heroes, as far as I can tell. Of course, the only one missing is Gimli. Looks like he has a catapult expansion on his fort, as well as a couple axe towers as well. Probably to help against the eagle, the axe towers. And he has gone for a battle wagon once again, going for the axe thrower upgrade on top. And of course, there is no pikeman here. He just gets a nice run through on those Mirkwood archers. And the axe throwers attacking this near Galadriel. Looks like they do go down though. And now the hero is targeting down the fort. King Dane focusing that down. Gloin taking a lot of damage. Does MauHuR have heal ready? Nope. MauHuR has used his heal. Oh, he just used it when I looked. Yes, he did. And Gloin will continue to assault the fort. He did use his Shake Foundation. The fortress take a lot of damage. But he might be okay. I say that, but I don't know about that. There's a lot of archers here, as well as Prince Brand. But as far as the heroes go, Gloin is about to die. If the fortress keeps targeting him, he will fall very quickly. Oh, the Lance is getting a nice run through on these Men of Dale. They are getting picked off, though. Gloin does fall there. It's up to King Dane to take down the fort. Probably not going to happen. King Dane undoubtedly won't be able to run either. He's too slow. He won't be able to get away from Haldir, of course. Actually, he wouldn't have to get away from Haldir. Haldir's actually going to fall here very shortly. Prince Bran targeting on this builder. He should really, yeah, finish off Haldir there. Legolas there, going to kill off Brand. And he does just that. And Treebeard's out in the field. So it looks like the attack from the Dwarves has been thwarted for now. Eagle being brought back home here. Eagle, of course, getting a white skin because he has claimed the ring. He gets the special skins and such that comes with that. Anything that has a special skin of some kind has you get when you get the ring, like Blue Barrage and upgraded Moomakill skins, etc. There's still some zealots up here, waiting to be used, of course. These phalanxes are going to get picked off pretty easily. They have no support from any anti-air. So the Eagle will be wrecking their shit, of course. Some Lancers being brought out from RaMBo. RaMBo could bring this back pretty easily. He does have the Ents now, of course, which will be pretty difficult to deal with an army in front of him, which is what he has. As you see, the Ents actually are wrecking these men of Dale. He's going to be careful, though. Ents are not invincible, of course. MauHuR does summon hobbits, using the Vial Galadriel to cause fear. I'm not sure if it worked, though. Doesn't seem to have, as the enemy units don't look like they've run in terror. I'm not sure. If they did, not very far. But the elves should be able to clean up these guys here without too much trouble. There's a few Mirkwoods with some Mithlond sentries over here. MauHuR putting another mine shaft up north. He does still have the inn there, and he does have the inn here as well. He's continuing to get a few hobbits here and there. Of course, he does want mostly Men of Dale as his ranged units. Probably wants fire arrows at some point as well. Although he does have to find time to actually upgrade his archery range and build it. Or research it, rather. It's not cheap either. The upgrade's 500 and the research is 1,000. That's 1,500 resources he has to spare. Possibly he doesn't have that kind of money to spare, as he is probably having to rebuild his heroes, I would imagine. Legolas having arrow wind, which is pretty destructive against armies. Tower getting taken down by the elves. Treebeard, of course, giving leadership to his Ent brethren. They get 50% speed and 100% armor, which is actually very good. So if you're going for the Ents, you always want to get Treebeard if you can. Treebeard is absolutely amazing. Apologies if you hear the dog yipping in the background. Nothing I can do about that. At least my door's closed. Legolas picking off some guys here. Doing quite nicely, in fact. Gimli's still level 1. And he does need to be careful. He is dying quite quickly here. Could die to Legolas pretty easily. He does throw down a heal, though. So MauHuR won't be losing Legolas, or not Gimli anytime soon. A couple more Ents being brought out into the battle. MauHuR went for Barrage. Actually missed his target. He overshot that Barrage by a while. By a bit, actually. You see it targeted over here. Possibly wanted to hit these Ents here instead. But it seems like the Dwarven heroes are actually working down the Ents pretty quickly. Prince Bran, of course, picking off these guys here. He could slam shot these Mirkwoods if he wanted to. Gimli getting a lot of experience, though. He is up to level 4. Of course, level 5, he'll be an absolute monster. So that'll be good. He could get a nice leap attack here, if he's quick. If they stop long enough, he could leap. There's a nice slam shot on the Mithlond sentries. And the Dwarven heroes will be continuing to wreck house over there. The Eagle over here doing some damage. Looks like MauHuR has actually got the Dwarven riches now. Which, of course, gives a benefit to his... Give Sunflare. When was Sunflare used? Oh. Seems MauHuR's base was used by hit by a Sunflare. Actually took out a good chunk of it. He lost his mine shaft, he lost his archery range, his siege works. Summon Ents. And no, pressing spacebar does not go to where the target was happening. So in a replay, apparently pressing spacebar does not go to any special power used or anything. Just so you know. Looks like he's summoned Ents over here. Defensive Ents, I guess? I was going to say, RaMBo might be in trouble here, but it seems he has a force enough to deal with these. Gimli, of course, is low health, so he doesn't want to send him in there. But if all the Dwarven heroes get together and start going after the fort, the Elves will be in trouble. So they can take down a fort pretty quickly, especially with Gimli in the mix now. Once he gets Slayer, even more so. So it's still running amok, destroying all they can around the map. These summon Ents not getting a whole lot done. Sent them into melee mode. You do get some nice hits off on these guys. Nice kick to the face. Of course, that does cause them to fall down, and they will be picked off with the Mirkwoods, which is always nice. MauHuR building his siege works over here in the bottom left of the map instead of his base. Obviously, he doesn't want to lose that building again, maybe. Putting it there instead of in his base will keep it from being sunflared. Oh no, he's building two of them. Maybe he's going for sneaky Demolisher play. That would be effective, actually. Demolishers are underused, in my opinion. They're so strong. They're quite good siege weapons. No one uses battering rams either, which is a bit disappointing. Battering rams and demolishers are very strong. Great for taking down forts and other buildings. So if you can sneak him around while your opponent is otherwise engaged elsewhere, if you can sneak a couple of them through here, straight up to the fort while he's engaged his army over here or something. Of course, he has to choose: does he want to save his fort and retreat and take flanking damage and lose a lot of troops, or does he want to stay and fight and hope for his base can actually defend? Leaves him, or of course he could just split his army up into half and then deal with half there, half there. That works too, but you know what I mean. It's always good to keep your enemy on his toes. Looks like he's upgraded this one. Going for a level 3 siege works. Guess he's going to be getting upgrades in this siege works. No, he's upgrading this one as well. Okay. Guess he's going for 2. That way he'll have upgrades, and then if that gets destroyed, he'll still have upgrades, I guess. And of course he can build catapults and such out of those if he wants to. Catapults wouldn't be too bad either. Catapults against Mirkwoods, of course, always nice. Catapults with the fire arrow, fire upgrades. Dwarves going in for a push. MauHuR looking to do some damage. The Lancers returning home to find an unwelcome guest in their abode. It will fall pretty quickly though. Gimli is level 5 though. He could go straight for the fort while it is still repairing. If he sends all the Dwarven heroes after the fortress, that might be bad for the Elves. Brand is taking a lot of damage actually. The fort is draining Brand's life quite quickly. Will he heal Brand? Nope, looks like he's opted to let Brand die so he can heal these heroes. As you see Gimli and King Dane and Gloin wrecking the fortress. This could be it for the Fortress of RaMBo. His army just now returning home. A little too late there. His fort does go down. And that will more than likely secure the victory for MauHuR, although not necessarily. It is possible for RaMBo to come back from this, but I don't know, it's unlikely. That does give the Dwarves, of course, a huge advantage. There will be 0 powers being used from the Elves now. Of course, now the fort is gone. And of course, MauHuR can use all the powers he wants. He summons his hobbits in here, and cutting their way through the enemies. Frodo falling there, screaming. Legolas trying his damnedest, but he will be overwhelmed here very shortly. Of course, we all knew he was never a match for Gimli. Gimli being this beast of a dwarf that he is. It's cut down quite quickly. Now that he's lost all his heroes as well, he will not be able to rebuild them, so of course that will probably be GG there. There's only a few structures here left for RaMBo. Oh, he actually has 2 Entmoots. I didn't realize that until now. And of course MauHuR does have reinforcements on the way, so this is definitely the end for the Elves. And MauHuR has claimed the Ring of Power as well. Like I was targeting down the economy. Making sure the elves can't come back, just in case. Of course, he does get the power points as well. Not that he could get anywhere near to 25. I mean, he's getting close to 25. Odds are slim that he'll get 25 to use a Earthquake or whatever. Or Citadel before the game's over. Not that he needs to. I think these are the last structures here. These last 3. These guys will finish off this Ent and move on over there. There's a Zealot. I thought it was Gimli for a second. They look remarkably similar, it turns out, as I've pointed out already. But yeah, pretty good game, I gotta say. You do get some good 1v1 games out of MauHuR most of the time. He's just a beast of a player. He's my favorite RotWK player, I'll tell you that much. But of course, RaMBo's pretty good as well. He actually put up quite the fight here. And I thought he was gonna might have a chance of winning there for quite a while. But MauHuR managed to pull it back and takes the victory here. So yeah, well played to both of those players. Well played to MauHuR, of course, for the victory. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that 1v1. And I will see you in the next cast of the Rise of the Witch King patch 2.02 version 5.0.1. See you next time.